I was always apprehensive to leave my home country behind, to leave the familiarity of my friends and family, the comfort of my parents' home. But 6 years ago, I did just that, and here's what I learned. You may have this initial hesitation at the thought of possibly having to move to a new country with new surroundings. And it will seem daunting at first because you're leaving behind the comfort of home, the familiarity of your friends, your family, your environment, and that is completely okay. Allow yourself to process and go through these emotions, write about them, and speak to friends and family, especially someone that has done that before. I spoke to my mother, and she moved from India to Papua New Guinea. She hardly spoke any English and she didn't know anyone. And her transition was very different to mine, but she was able to equip me with strategies that I could use later on and allay some of my fears. I also spoke to my best friend, and even though she realized that me getting married and moving away would mean as friends we would have very little time together, she knew that it was the right decision for me and she had my best interests at heart. And this really reaffirmed my decision to move to another country, to be with a new person, and have faith and courage in taking that step. Settling into a new place, and certain feelings are inevitably going to come up. One of them is this notion of comparison. When I first moved, I would compare everything and notice how it was different. I would think the way the laundry smelt was different, the way the veggies tasted were different. I would pick on every little thing. And then I read this incredible quote, "Comparison is the thief of joy." And it just made me rethink my perspective on how I was looking at life. So try to focus on those things that are the same, because when you focus on that which is different, it will make you miss your previous home even more. So look at the similarities. For me, I was grateful that everybody spoke the same language. I was able to drive because it was the same side of the road. Society functioned in a very similar way to back home, in the way there was free healthcare, how you apply for a bank account, how you go grocery shopping. So focus on the things that are the same rather than trying to pick out the things that are different. Remind yourself of the higher purpose of why you've moved. For me, this was another person and our relationship. I grew up in a very traditional Indian family, and I would always see the woman move to where the husband is. Now, some may not see this in the same way, and they may find it super traditional and even patriarchal. But for me, this was the norm, and I had accepted that. Now, I didn't think I would be moving halfway across the world, but humans are adaptable creatures, and we will learn to adapt to a new environment and new surroundings. And for me, focusing on my partner, on the life that we were going to create together, this outweighed any of the hurdles and obstacles that I had to face when moving to a new country. So always remind yourself, what is the reason that you're moving, and put that at the forefront of your mind. It's really important to be open and have clear channels of communication with your partner. Because you're taking such a big decision, it's going to affect you, the way you think, your emotions, everything around you. I was really lucky, and still am, to have such a supportive partner. He was there for me, acknowledged the big decision that I'd made, and supported me so that my transition was as smooth as possible. He provided me with the obvious physical amenities, like a safe place to live, a group of welcoming friends and family, helped me to settle in and find a job. Another really important thing to remember is that when you move to a new place, it's important that you create your identity, your own identity, separate from your partner within that community. And I was lucky enough that my husband helped me to do that, to find my own set of friends, to do my own things in my spare time. In this way, it will help you feel more settled in the new place, help you call it home a lot faster, and have a stronger relationship with your partner as well. From a spiritual perspective, it's important to remember that this world is a transient place. Things are always changing and temporary. So in the grand scheme of things, this is just one small chapter of your life. Of course, it's easy to forget this when you're in the moment and overcome by emotions, but take some time to reflect back and think of the bigger picture. When you do this on a daily basis, it will help you stay more grounded and help you settle down into your new home. It's important to strike a balance between experiencing and acknowledging that emotion of sadness of having to leave your home country, But at the same time, it's important to allow that voice of logic and rationale to take over and remind yourself of the bigger and higher purpose. Another realization I had is that when you're considering moving homes or moving countries, you'll now be able to have a greater and broader understanding of the world. Previously, your city, your home, the way you lived, that was the way in which you looked at the world. But now, moving to a new place, you'll get a broader and a new way to look at the world. Be open to this. Be open to the change. Be open to doing new things in a different way. Being open to doing the same things in a different way. Because doing all of this will really help contribute to your personal growth and development. I'd love to know what you think. If you're considering moving countries, then please let me know your apprehensions. Or if you've already made the move, what helped you? Let me know in the comments below.